getting money, that my main focus. You're 2, 2, 3, and you act like you don't notice. You're part of beam and my always wrong.
Hey friends! So today we're going to be doing my pregnancy Q&A because that's what some of you guys have requested. So we're just going to get right into it. Okay, question number 1. Was your pregnancy planned or expected? I would say that it would go more towards the planned side because I had it in my mind that I wasn't going to be able to have kids because we had tried for a couple months, and then I would take a pregnancy test one month, and because I thought I was pregnant, and it would always be negative, and this was for about a year, so I thought there was something wrong. The month that I found out, I wasn't expecting it, but then again, I wasn't taking any precautions to prevent myself from getting pregnant either. Okay, question number 2. How did you feel when you first found out you were pregnant? When I first found out, I was shocked. I went to the dollar store with Miguel, and we said we were gonna buy a cheaper pregnancy test because we kept buying all of the expensive ones like months before, and they would always be negative. So I was like, I'm tired of buying like all these tests, and you know it's gonna be negative anyways. And we kept looking in all the aisles and we couldn't find it, and I told him, I was like, oh, why don't you just ask the people that work here? And then he screams like super loud, like, you got any pregnancy tests? And I was super embarrassed, and they had it behind the counter, so we bought like I think we bought 3, and he was like, okay, if these are positive, I'm gonna go buy an expensive one. So then we went to get a really expensive one just to make sure, and like just to be on the safe side, and that one turned out to be positive as well. When I found out, I was kind of in shock. I was just like, what am I gonna do? I was anxious. I was like, how am I gonna tell my parents? But I was happy because I was like, wow, like I can have kids, like there's nothing wrong with us. So I felt a lot of mixed emotions. Yeah, question number 3. How many months pregnant are you? Right now I am 37 weeks and 2 days, which is 9 months, 1 week, and 2 days. But the way people, because everyone says pregnancy is 9 months, but it's really 40 weeks. So 40 divided by 4 is 10 months. But I don't know how that works. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my belly. Yes, I'm 37 weeks, ready to pop. And next question. How did your family react to the news? And to be 100% transparent, at first they were not thrilled. They asked me a lot of questions. They were like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna go to school? But eventually they came around, and my mom started buying the baby all these things, and she would cook for me. She would call me like every day. And yeah, I gave her time to, I guess, process the news and come around, and eventually she did. So I'm really happy that she did because I really wanted her to be there and be a part of my journey. Next question. Do you know the sex of the baby? And yes, I do. We're gonna have a boy. I remember I couldn't wait. Like, I couldn't wait to find out what I was having because I feel like once you know, it makes it so much more real. So the results took like 3 weeks to come in, and I was so impatient. I would call the office every single day for 2 weeks straight. There would be a procedure that you have to go through. Like, you would have to go call the office. You would have to tell them like your health record number, which I knew by heart because I called so many times, and I just kept calling, and they were probably so annoyed of me. when I found out, it was the day I was hanging out with my best friend Quinn, and we were in the car, and I had this feeling in the back of my head. I told her, I was like, it would be so funny if they called me today and I'm with you. And we were driving in the car, and I get a call from a number that I didn't know. The thought popped in my head like, oh, what if they're calling me? It'd be so funny. And I picked up, and she goes, I have your results, and the gender is male. And like, we looked at each other and we screamed at the top of our lungs. I was like, she's like, bitch, you're about to have a boy, this and that. And I called Miguel right after. So Quinn was the first to know, and then I called Miguel right after, and I told him, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go drink to celebrate. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure it's a boy? I don't want to tell all my friends. I don't want to tell everybody. It's making me doubt myself. And that night, when I went to sleep, I had a dream that I told everyone the wrong gender, so I could not sleep that night. And the first thing I did when I woke up, I called the office again just to make sure, and I put it on speaker so he could hear for himself, because he kept saying, are you sure you didn't hear female? And I was like, no, I heard it, I was right. So yeah. Next question, do you want more children? Yes, I do, but I'm gonna get on birth control after I give birth, and after I graduate, I'll probably get off, and then I guess we'll start trying again, or like in the near future, I want more children. What has been your biggest craving? I would say lemonade. Like, once you get pregnant, you start liking all these things that you didn't like before. Like, I love mac and cheese, and my first trimester, I hated pasta, I hated mac and cheese, I hated cheese in general, I hated creamy stuff, and that's not like me at all. And I would love like very citrusy stuff. Like, I would like hot sauce and sour cream and onion chips and lemonade. I remember I would crave lemonade all the time. So yeah, what's been the best part of being pregnant? I would say just being able to carry life inside of you. It makes you feel very like empowered. And especially when you're pregnant, people say like you will know who your real friends are, and I'm grateful for that, because it shows like who really cares about you, and you know, and your well-being, or your baby, or who's gonna like stick around and be in your life. What's the worst part about being pregnant? The worst part about being pregnant is the way society makes you feel, because to everybody, I guess, there's a certain order. It's like school, marriage, and then kids. It just made me feel so bad and so discouraged that I wasn't doing things in the order that society has instilled in us. I would get like stares from people all the time. They would bother me so much, and that's another thing, like hormones during pregnancy are no joke. I would just get bothered over the silliest things, or like the smallest things. I felt very defensive. Like, I felt judgment everywhere I went. Like, for example, like I had gone to the doctor one day, and she was taking my blood, and she said, oh, are you married? Like, I guess that's like small talk or something. And I was like, no. And she was like, ooh, is your mom okay with you being pregnant and not married? And I just looked at her and I said, yeah. But like, I felt like I should have went off. Like, when I got home that day, I thought about it, and it kept eating away at me all day. Like, why did I not go off on this lady? Because like, who is she to talk to me like that? Like, some people even ask me like, oh, what were you thinking? And all these things that made me feel so discouraged. And they would say things like, oh, I wouldn't keep it if I were you, or like stuff like that. And it just made me feel really discouraged. But at the same time, I told myself, like, that this was what I wanted. Like, this is what I had wanted all along. So yeah, and they would say all these things that you should just not say to somebody who's expecting. And I just hate it, because I want to live how I want it, and I want to do it in the order that I want to. And I learned to accept it and just take it day by day. And yeah, do you have any names picked out? Yes, his name is Anthony King, AK for short. We had a girl name too, but I'm just gonna wait because I don't want to like reveal all my baby names. Who will be with you during labor? At first I was just gonna have just Miguel there, because I heard a lot of people say like, oh, just have him there because it's gonna be too much. But my mom really wants to be there, and his mom does as well, so they're gonna be there because I don't want to tell them no. And yeah, will you record your labor? I'm going to try to, but I can't make any promises because I'm gonna have to depend on him to record it, because I'm gonna have too much going on. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I think he'll record it for the memories. Natural or medicated birth? I think for sure I'm gonna get the epidural. But I have a really high pain tolerance too, but I just think for the experience, I don't want to like get traumatized, or I don't know, like, I mean, if it comes down to it and they tell me no, then I'll be okay with it being natural. But I think I'm gonna gravitate towards the epidural. Are you scared about labor? Honestly, I'm not scared about the pain. Like, I'm ready to push, because I know like this is what my body was made for. Like, I'm capable of doing it. What I'm scared for is like complications or anything like that, where like my life or the baby's life could be put in jeopardy. That's what I'm scared of, but I'm not scared of the pain. What do you most look forward to after pregnancy? Well, of course, I'm gonna be looking forward to motherhood, like just being able to take care of the baby. I know it's gonna be hard, but I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also looking forward to being able to work out and get my body back. Not that like I hate my body now, because I love being pregnant, but just being like, I never realized how much I took working out for granted. And actually, before I got pregnant, I bought all this workout gear and I was working out, like I had a schedule and everything. And then when I found out, I was just like, oh, packing all my workout stuff, all my gym stuff up. So yeah. Will you breastfeed? Yes, I'm going to try to breastfeed at least for a month. If I can go further, I will. But I'm giving myself a month to try, because I heard that breastfeeding is not as easy as a lot of people say, or as people think. Do you plan to work or be a stay-at-home mom? After I give birth, I'm taking my ass back to school for sure, because I already registered for classes, and I'm gonna do it for about a month, and then I'll throw in work, so I'll be doing work and school and the baby. I don't want to just jump back into it, because I might not be able to handle it, but let's hope I can, because I want to be able to provide for the baby as well, and I want to pursue my degree and my career. Will you make your own baby food? Yes, I will, because I used to take care of my brother, who were like 8 years apart. So when he was born, I would see my mom making baby food all the time. So I think I like to cook, so I'm gonna be making his food. I've tasted like baby food before, and some of it is not good. And do you have any nursery ideas / themes? We're not gonna have a nursery, but I do have like ideas for his room when he's older. So I'll attach some pictures to show you like what I'm planning on decorating. And yeah, thank you guys for staying tuned and hearing my answers to the Q&A as you guys have requested. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!